The man was just playing a game when he told his girlfriend to kneel. He only wanted to feel the strange thrill of fire and ice colliding. But then, her mouth suddenly split open all the way to her ears. Her horrific scream pierced through the headset, reaching the man who was still pushing the tower. Yet instead of panicking, he calmly destroyed the enemy's crystal. Then, relying on his memory, he opened the door that was being pounded by his beautiful neighbor. He said she could come in and hide, but only if she closed her eyes first. The woman obeyed, signaling that as long as she got inside, he could do whatever he wanted. It felt more like a dark deal than a plea. The next second, the man swung a kitchen knife and cut off her head without hesitation. A system prompt appeared. Potential zombie eliminated. Points acquired. The man's name was Lin Fan, an ordinary interior designer living alone. An hour ago, he had kindly helped a desperate neighbor in need, but she suddenly mutated and bit him to death. In the moment he died, he somehow connected to a survival system of the zombie apocalypse. That connection rewound time, sending him back 1 hour before his death. Lin Fan spent his newly gained points on strength, feeling his power surge within seconds. Meanwhile, the headless body of the beautiful neighbor had drawn another zombie to the scene. When Lin Fan opened the door, it finally noticed him, its twisted head turning, rotten eyes locking onto him. A few seconds later, the creature let out a guttural roar and lunged at the fresh meat. Lin Fan struck again, one clean swing, and the zombie's head rolled away. The system popped up another message: zombie killed. Points gained. Staring at his neighbor's half-intact corpse, Lin Fan realized more zombies would come. All he needed to do was hide behind the door and ambush them. An hour later, the hallway was piled high with corpses. His points had skyrocketed. Afterward, he searched for the neighbor's body, but it was nowhere to be found. Wait, don't tell me she's been eaten already. That's a problem. Ugh, this is disgusting. They'll start to rot soon. The hallway's public property. I'd better clean this mess up. He grabbed a rope and tied all the bodies together, just as he was about to drag them to the trash pile. The ceiling light began to flicker with a harsh, buzzing sound. Then, at the corner, a shadow appeared. A man in a wheelchair, slowly rolling forward. It was a middle-aged addict who had once been electrocuted stealing wires. He survived only by losing his legs. Seeing Lin Fan alive, the man let out a feral roar and lunged at the fresh meat. Lin Fan calmly swung his knife again, another clean beheading. Uncle Zhang, weren't you living on the 2nd floor? How'd you get up to the 7th? Came all the way here to lend me your wheelchair. Perfect timing. I was just wondering how to haul these bodies down. You're too kind, Uncle Zhang. Don't worry, I'll return it when I'm done. With that, Lin Fan dumped all the corpses into the trash bin downstairs. Lin Fan still couldn't believe it. The world had really ended. To survive, he had to gather supplies. But then he wondered, do these things count as trash or recyclables? Living alone really sucked. No one to talk to, no one to answer his stupid questions. Just then, the drug-addicted son from Uncle Zhou's place on the 2nd floor waved at him. That bald guy had bullied Lin Fan before. He once stole his bike, and the police had to get involved. Though he returned the bike, the next day, he still beat Lin Fan up for it. Lin Fan glared coldly at him. What do you want? The bald man froze. This idiot actually spoke out loud? Isn't he afraid of attracting zombies? Then he grinned. An idiot's easy to use. I'm starving anyway. He could do the work for me. He scribbled on a piece of paper. Go find food and water. Bring it to my door. Lin Fan shook his head. Why should I? I'm not going. The bald man's lips trembled with rage. You little piece of, he muttered under his breath. Then he wrote again. Do as I say, and I'll let you stay with me. When the time comes, I'll take you to a secret base. Lin Fan remained calm, still not going. The man's expression darkened, anger boiling over. Fine, he thought. If you want to die, I'll help you out. You asked for it, he shouted, throwing several metal plates toward Lin Fan's door. The plates hit the floor, ringing out loudly, clang, clang, clang. Moments later, the hallway erupted with snarls as several zombies charged toward Lin Fan. Watching from the 2nd floor, the bald man laughed hysterically. Not so tough now, huh? What happened to that attitude? Can't even move your legs anymore. In the next second, Lin Fan swung his kitchen knife, slicing through two zombie heads in one clean motion. The system chimed immediately. 2 kills. 2 points gained. The bald man's laughter stopped cold. Holy crap, this guy's actually strong. He snarled, "Fine, you got some skill, but so what? There's still one more zombie left. Too slow to react now, huh? Anyone who defies me deserves to die." Lin Fan hoisted the last zombie onto his shoulder. Not because he couldn't kill it, but because he chose not to. Then, with a calm flick, he threw it upstairs, a special delivery for the bald man. The man caught out of reflex, stunned at his own stupidity. Why the hell did I even catch that? As screams echoed through the building, Lin Fan waved casually. If you got questions, ask it. At least you won't be alone like me. Soon, Lin Fan reached a nearby supermarket. The moment he entered, he took down several lurking zombies with ease. After gathering supplies, he walked to the checkout counter, out of habit, and faced the zombified cashier. This should last me a while. I even bought some seeds. Once I find a safe place to plant them, I can live off the land. Though this knife's pretty much done for. As he thought about finding a new weapon, a speeding bus suddenly roared toward him from down the street. The loud engine drew a massive horde of zombies in seconds. The blinding headlights triggered memories of his tragic childhood. When Lin Fan was little, his mother died in an accident. His father, desperate to be with his lover, planned to abandon him. But Lin Fan's crying made that woman, the so-called auntie, lose her temper in disgust. The woman yanked the steering wheel from Lin Fan's father, shouting that she'd stop the bus to teach him a lesson. The vehicle slammed into an oncoming truck. Lin Fan was still trapped in that bleak memory when the bus driver's rough voice snapped him back. "Hey, brat, want a ride? Too bad. I'm not taking you. Stay here and let the zombies rip your guts out." A bespectacled boy nearby protested softly. "We can't leave him. The zombies we attracted might kill him." The teacher said we should help. Before he finished, the driver slit his throat and spat. "Teacher? Fuck your teacher. It's the apocalypse. I do what I want. You four-eyed nerds think you can lecture me." He sneered, "I've hated you smart kids forever. You're just the teacher's lapdogs. With no teacher as your shield, you're nothing but prey. Since you're so full of compassion, I'll be merciful. Send you down there to keep him company." He shoved the boy off the bus and drove away. Even as he left, he glanced nervously in the rear view. That idiot's carrying a kitchen knife? Don't tell me he actually plans to fight the horde alone. One more on. Lin Fan finally snapped out of his thoughts, muttering softly, "I won't die. Mom and I made a promise. I'll become the brave, kind, and bright man she always believed I could be." With that, he hurled his kitchen knife straight at the bus tire. Boosted by his immense strength stat, the blade pierced deep into the rubber. The bus lost balance, slammed into a street sign, and flipped over. The arrogant driver was now screaming like a dying dog. "I'm sorry. I was wrong. Please help me." Lin Fan glanced at him coldly. "You're not sorry for what you did. You're just scared because you finally know you're going to die." He gave a faint smirk. "All right, your friends are here. I'll leave you to catch up." The man froze. "What are you talking about? I don't have any friends. Wait. Come back. Save me." Then, the boy he had slit the throat of appeared before the bus, along with the horde of zombies that had been chasing it, tearing into him mercilessly. By now, Lin Fan's strength stat had reached a staggering 35 points. As he passed by a nearby apartment complex, a woman's voice called out from above, an orphan mother and her child. "Hey, young man, how did you get past all those zombies at the intersection?" "No, forget that. Right now, the important thing is..." Lin Fan hadn't planned to stop, but when he saw the starving little girl beside her, he couldn't bring himself to ignore them. He walked up to the door and found the woman kneeling. "Buddy, I know it's a lot to ask, but please share a little food with us. We have nothing left. My husband's dead. I have no other way. I don't need much, just enough for my daughter." Lin Fan handed her 2 pumpkins and a winter squash. "Here, take these." The woman was surprised. Does money even mean anything now? Still, she accepted. Then Lin Fan's eyes caught a replica weapon hanging on the wall. The woman pulled out the sword. My husband loved games. He bought this as a prop. If you want it, take it. It's dangerous out there. You could use something to defend yourself. Lin Fan said he felt bad taking it, but he couldn't put it down. Take it, she insisted. My daughter and I don't need it. You need it more. Lin Fan waved goodbye politely. Don't worry, I won't take it for free. Call me if you need anything. The little girl thought he was odd, but the mother whispered, maybe we're the ones who were broken. Lin Fan examined the prop weapon with a thrill. I've seen this Frostmourne online before. I've wanted one. It'll feel great hacking zombies. At that moment, a woman suddenly fell from above and crashed at his feet, her body mottled with bruises, blue and purple patches stark against unbroken skin. On the fifth-floor balcony, a fat man watched, annoyed, his face marked with scratches. What a shame. Wonder when I'll find another piece like that. From the ground, Lin Fan could tell the woman had suffered terrible abuse. The despair, rage, and helplessness in her eyes were the same look his mother had when she left his father. He decided to get justice for her and confronted the fat man. Why had he done this? The man froze. He hadn't expected anyone to be out on the street. Then he spat a curse. Who the hell are you? You don't live here, do you? This building's my turf. I do whatever I want with the women in it. What's it to you? Lin Fan knew he had to act. After all, the mother and child who'd given him the Frostmourne lived in this building too. He picked up the corpse, counted the floors, and confirmed the fat man was on the 5th floor. The fat man thought Lin Fan was here to scavenge. What? Coming to take the corpse for a little fun. Too bad. Dead bodies don't squirm. Even a blow-up doll's better. He sneered, chin raised. Get the hell out before I lose my temper, or I'll show you what real pain feels like. Muttering curses, he slumped back onto the couch and cracked open a beer. Maybe I'll go find some new toys in this building later. In the apocalypse, I can do whatever the hell I want. Feels damn good to be king. Then knock, knock. Someone was at the door. The fat man jumped up, grabbed a wooden stick, and peered through the peephole. Who the hell's knocking? Don't tell me it's a zombie. Damn it. If the hallway's full of them, how am I supposed to find new playthings? But what he saw through the peephole froze him solid. It was the woman he had just tortured to death. Even a monster like him trembled in fear. Outside, Lin Fan stood holding the corpse, knocking calmly. Open the door. I know you're in there. Hearing Lin Fan's voice, the fat man exhaled in relief and yelled, Oh, it's you, the idiot. Get lost, you lunatic. You looking to die. A wicked grin crept across his face. Heh, all I gotta do is yell loud enough. Zombies will tear that dumbass apart. I'm a damn genius. The next instant, the reinforced door exploded inward with a thunderous bang. The fat man hit the ground, stunned. His eyes bulged. How the hell did he just kick down a steel door? Lin Fan glanced around and saw the torture tools scattered across the room. The fat man pushed himself up, still cursing. What the hell, you freak? You bringing a corpse into my house? You looking for trouble? Lin Fan said calmly. Of course I brought her. She deserves to see you pay the price. Moments later, he had the fat man tied up, gag in his mouth, ready to deliver him to the police station. The fat man growled, struggling. You're insane. Let me go. Ever watched zombie movies? Read apocalypse novels? If you had, you'd know how to survive, how to live. Doesn't it feel amazing to do whatever the hell you want? Lin Fan slapped him hard. Are you stupid? Stories are fiction. This is real life. You can't even tell the difference. The slap hit so hard it sent the man flying, straight through the police station doors. Dazed and burning with pain, the man muttered, Who the hell can't tell what's real now? You think bringing me here matters? It's the apocalypse. Everyone's gone. No one can punish me anymore. Lin Fan smiled coldly. You're wrong. There's still someone. The man's eyes shifted right. His body stiffened as he felt a rotting breath on his neck. A squad of zombie police officers surrounded him. Lin Fan's voice was low and calm. See? Even as zombies, they still uphold justice, punishing the guilty. The next day, an armored truck rolled up outside the city library. 3 survivors climbed out. They were searching for medical textbooks. They looked around carefully, finding no zombies in sight. Huh, maybe we got lucky, one said. But their leader, a sharp-eyed woman, raised a hand. Wait, don't rush in. She tapped a steel pillar with her knife. Clang, clang, testing the air. Her two companions tensed up, ready to bolt if a horde appeared. When nothing happened, she nodded. All right, move. Check the medical section first. Just then, Lin Fan suddenly appeared from behind a shelf and greeted them with a smile. One of the men yelped, collapsing in shock. Holy shit, a zombie! It can talk. Lin Fan waved his hands frantically. No, calm down. I'm human. I'm alive. The woman frowned. Then what are you doing here? Lin Fan raised the book in his hand, Vegetable Growth and Cultivation Guide, and grinned. Reading, obviously. What else do you do in a library? One of the guys mumbled, thinking it made sense. Boss, didn't you just ask a dumb question? The leader hissed, shut up. She then spoke politely to Lin Fan. We mean no harm. Sorry if we bothered you. Lin Fan replied, It's fine, just keep it down. This is a library. The three exchanged glances, suspecting a trap. One muttered, That sword she's carrying, I've seen in a game. Carrying it usually makes sense, but now? This guy might be crazy. The leader couldn't risk trouble either. Whether he's a trap or unstable, don't provoke him. Quietly finish grabbing the books and go. She had a gut feeling the man wasn't someone to mess with. Nothing concrete, just instinct. To avoid trouble, the trio silently sped up their collection. As they prepared to leave, Lin Fan, who'd been reading, called out, You leaving now? The three tensed, fearing he might be starting trouble. The leader tried to stay polite. Do you need something? Lin Fan said, If you're taking that many books, you should register them. Those aren't personal items. Loans must be logged. The three froze. One spat. Are you for real? Do you know what's going on out there? Register? Which mental hospital did you come from? The leader found his logic odd, but asked gently, May I ask, do you know what's happening outside right now? Lin Fan answered calmly, Yeah, it's the apocalypse. There's zombies out there that bite. Other than that, not much has changed. The leader's face tightened. Was he genuinely crazy or just pretending? One of the men assumed trouble was coming. Dude, do you even know what's out there? Don't do anything stupid. Whatever. Let's mind our own business. Lin Fan soothed them. Relax. I mean no harm. Just a heads up, it's dangerous outside, so don't start trouble. By the way, I'm Lin Fan. I live in Building 2, Unit 704, Sunshine Complex. If you get in trouble, find me. I'm strong. Hundreds of zombies aren't a match for me. The three of them fell silent. Yeah, confirmed. He's insane. Run. The leader thanked Lin Fan quickly, then bolted out of the library with her two teammates. Before Lin Fan could even react, they were gone. That fast. I didn't even get your names. He shrugged. Oh well, morning's the best time to learn. If I want to survive on my own, I'd better master farming. Meanwhile, deep beneath a desert facility, scientists in hazmat suits were hard at work. Strange, zombie cell activity increases slightly every day. So you're saying they're evolving? Something like that. Forget that. I want to know, can we make an antibody? No, this virus is unlike anything we've ever seen. Not even close to known strains. You've heard of the zombie gene? You mean these people died and came back, living in another form? Back in the city, Lin Fan closed the farming book and returned to his apartment complex. He found an open patch of ground, perfect for planting. But the area was public property. Planting there might draw zombies or angry neighbors. So he shouted, I'm Lin Fan, resident of Sunshine Complex, Building 2, Unit 704. For now on, I'll be planting vegetables here. Anyone got a problem with that? Predictably, his shout attracted every zombie nearby. Even the ones in the buildings smashed their windows and jumped down. In seconds, the open lot swarmed with undead. Lin Fan drew Frostmourne and slashed through them, their bodies parting like soft tofu. His system points skyrocketed. Minutes later, the ground was littered with corpses, and Lin Fan no longer had to worry about zombies sneaking up on his garden again. To be sure, Lin Fan shouted again into the neighborhood. Hey, anyone else got objections? When no zombies appeared, a wave of hunger hit him. He decided to grab something to eat and check on the mother and daughter. He found a soft-shell turtle at the nearby market. While dropping off supplies for the two, he joined them for dinner. The woman spoke softly. "I know. There's no help without a reason. You've done so much for us already. I didn't want to make you uncomfortable, but my husband's gone. If something happens to me, my daughter..." Lin Fan caught her meaning, put down his chopsticks, and asked calmly, "What do you need me to do?" The woman froze, surprised at how easily he agreed. Blushing, she said quietly, I want to go with you with my daughter." Lin Fan blinked, completely missing her intent. "Oh, you mean move to my complex? Sure, I can ask the real estate office for you." The woman stared at him, utterly baffled. Are we even speaking the same language? Meanwhile, atop a luxury apartment tower across the city, a middle-aged man's phone buzzed. His face lit up. Every call felt like possible rescue. "Hello, Mr. Chun," said a calm voice. "I'm calling about the property you listed with XIN Phone Realty. Can I rent it?" Chun Gang froze, then slammed the call. "Are you kidding me? A prank? Look outside. The world's ending." The apocalypse had hit fast. Only the complex's tight security kept them alive. For days, they'd watched the sky, hoping for helicopters, but nothing ever came. Just as Chun Gang sighed in despair, the phone rang again. He snapped before the other side could speak. "Are you insane?" Lin Fan sounded genuinely confused. "Why are you yelling? I just want to rent your place." Chun hung up again, seething. Lin Fan sighed. "Man, what's with this guy's temper? Fine, I'll call back." Chun roared, veins popping. "You bastard! What the hell do you want?" Lin Fan remained calm. "Mr. Chun, I just want to rent your apartment. No need to get so worked up." Chun's patience finally snapped. "Fine. You want it? You got it. I'm on the roof. Fangji International Tower 3. Come rent it in person. Come on, if you've got the guts, come find me." After securing the rental, Lin Fan hurriedly said goodbye to the mother and daughter. "Wait here. I'll go sign the lease for you right now." The woman tried to stop him, but he'd already closed his front door and left. Elsewhere, a young man sidled up to Chun Gang. "Boss, what's up?" he whispered. Chun shrugged. "Nothing. Just an idiot." The kid pulled Chun aside. "Forget him. Come with me. There's real business to discuss." He lowered his voice. "Boss, I did the math. Our supplies will last maybe 2 weeks." Chun frowned. "So what are you saying?" The young man hissed. "There are 15 of us total. Those 4 old folks are dead weight. We ought to take care of them." Chun hesitated. Doing that openly might not sit well with the others. Those elders had shared their food these past days. The kid grinned. "Leave it to me. Once those old people are out of the way, we dispose of the extra men too." "And the women? The ugly ones go too." Chun nodded. "Keep the pretty ones. At least there'd be something to pass the time with, since who knew when the apocalypse would end." With the rental approved, Lin Fan pedaled toward Fangji International. On the way, he casually cleared a few zombies from the roadside. Survivors peeked from windows and alleyways. Some even signaled for help. Others sneered. They figured this guy wouldn't last. He'd get torn apart eventually. After a long stretch, Lin Fan glanced back, and the horde trailing him was gone. He stopped at the complex gate and took it in. The place was far fancier than his old neighborhood. On the roof, a group huddled together, plotting something inhuman. Seize the elder's supplies, then throw them off the building. The youngsters whispered among themselves, but the elders weren't blind to it. Wang Zhonghua was a retired soldier who'd seen his share of battles. He soothed the retired army doctor's wife beside him. "Guafen, we're old. Supplies are scarce. Maybe the kids see us as dead weight. Still, the future belongs to the young. The country and society need them to rebuild." Sitting nearby, Zhou Aijuan, a retired military engineer, chuckled softly. "Wang, you've really come to terms with this." Wang asked if he felt the same. Zhou nodded. "We spent our lives giving. There isn't much else to show for it. You can't blame them entirely. Survival matters most." Wang's wife Liang Yin rolled her eyes. "We've suffered for decades. A little more hardship won't change that." Meanwhile, Chun Gang and Xiao Bing had rallied most of the youth. They now advanced on the 4 elders. Xiao Bing nursed a darker plan. Kill the elders first, then the extra men, and finally Chun. Then all the supplies and women would be his. But Wang Zhongwu stepped forward and addressed the crowd. We know what you're thinking. Don't worry. We won't take your supplies, and you don't need to throw us off the building. Some actions leave stains. They'll haunt you. We old folks will go home and wait out whatever comes. Still, the young men refused to relent. No way. We can't let them stay. What if they go downstairs and open the security door? That'd call the horde. We got to throw them off the roof. As the crowd stalled, a knock sounded on the rooftop gate. A voice called from outside. Mr. Chen, are you there? I'm the one who called. Can I rent your apartment? Chen bellowed like he'd seen a ghost. It's the apocalypse. Who's renting now? Who even are you? Before he finished, the 3-centimeter thick metal gate flew open with a bang. Lin Fan's strength had hit 40. He'd accidentally put too much force into the door and cracked it open. Xiao Bing leaned in and whispered a plan to Chun. Tell him it's rented, watch him go downstairs, then push the 4 elders. Make a scene. Zombies will come, he'll run, and we'll be safer. Chun chuckled. Yeah, that works. Kid's pretty clever and nasty. He waved dismissively. Fine, the place is yours. Now go. Lin Fan hadn't expected it to be that easy. He fished out a wad of cash from his pocket. Chen blinked. Is this guy a fool? Chen barked. All right. Stay as long as you like. Now, get out of here. As Lin Fan waved goodbye, he noticed several elders preparing to leave the rooftop. Excuse me, he called out. Are you Mr. Zhou Aijuan? Zhou blinked in surprise. You know me, young man. Lin Fan nodded excitedly and shook his hand. I've seen you on TV. When foreign nations blocked our weapons tech, you led the team that broke through. You're a national hero. Zhou chuckled. That was a long time ago. Don't flatter me. Lin Fan turned to the others. Are you all planning to leave the roof? It's dangerous outside. Zhou shook his head gently. No, we'll stay. Supplies are scarce. The young should have them. We've lived our years. No need to waste what's left. Lin Fan's face darkened, his mind filled with images of the elderly being cast aside, mistreated, left to die. Even Chun Gang flinched at the look in his eyes. This guy, he's dangerous. Lin Fan exhaled slowly. Please come with me. My place is safe. I can protect you. The elders declined softly. Thank you, son. But no, you've done enough just by caring. Lin Fan persisted. I'm strong. Really, come with me. I'll even help you rent a place in my neighborhood. The elders traded awkward glances. Zhou covered his discomfort with a laugh. This young man, he's one of a kind. Lin Fan took Zhou Aijuan's hand and said, Don't hesitate. Trust me. Come with me. Shen moved to stop the elders, but Xiao Bing held him back. Xiao whispered, Boss, let them go. Once they're downstairs, we'll stir up the zombies. He and the old men will be ripped apart together. These elders had once been willing to die for their country. Now, in old age, they've been pushed out of the safe zone by the young. The youths hoarded the elder supplies and kept tossing flower pots and making noise below. Their plan, draw the nearby undead and let them devour the elders. The older generation hadn't expected such cold cruelty from their juniors. Men who once shielded comrades on the battlefield never imagined they'd face betrayal like this. Only retired military engineer Zhou Aijuan sensed something wrong. He frowned. Have you noticed? Why are there so many zombie corpses on the ground? Has someone invented a way to kill them? Wang shrugged it off. There's no way something like that could be developed so fast. He finished, and the crowd turned to look at Lin Fan. Lin Fan shifted uncomfortably. I had no choice. I had to kill them so I could get up to the roof safely. But the elders weren't staring at the corpses. They were stunned that he'd wiped out so many zombies alone. Meanwhile, on the rooftop, the survivors had thrown every flower pot they could find. Yet not a single zombie showed up. Chun frowned, pushing a man aside. Let me see what's going on. One glance below, and cold sweat covered his back. What the hell? Why are there zombie corpses everywhere? Then came a sudden scream. The man leaning over the edge was shoved off by Xiao Bing. The rest of the survivors froze, stunned by what they'd just seen. But Xiao Bing calmly straightened his tie and said, What are you staring at? If noise won't attract them, then we'll use blood. The smell travels farther. Chen burst out laughing, clapping his hands. "Smart thinking," he shouted, as the others quickly joined in, grinning wickedly. The man hit the ground hard. His body burst open, blood spraying everywhere and painting the street red. Zombies farther away caught the scent of fresh blood and charged toward the spot like wild animals. On the rooftop, Chun laughed loudly. "Nice one, Xiao. Let's see how those fools run now. I can't wait to hear them scream." Zhou Aijuan's wife, once a teacher, panicked. "What do we do?" she cried. Lin Fan suddenly asked, "Do you have a car?" Wang Zhongma blinked. "A car?" "Yeah, parked in the garage." "What?" Lin Fan smiled over his shoulder. "Good. My bike can't carry this many people anyway." "Drive to the location I told you about," he added. "I've got something to take care of." Then he sprinted toward the gate. Wang and Zhou shouted after him, "You're still young. Get out while you can. We'll hold them off. If someone has to die, it should be us old folks." Their wives pulled them back. "Enough with the hero talk. That boy's no ordinary person. The best help we can give him is to stay out of his way." Meanwhile, Lin Fan reached the complex gate. He muttered, "Told you guys, zombies that don't work out have bad stamina. I've been waiting forever for you to catch up." On the rooftop, Chun frowned. "Weird. The horde hasn't broken through yet. Why is he heading there?" Xiao Bing smirked. "Probably scared stupid. What else?" Moments later, Chun laughed again. "Damn, you were right. That idiot actually opened the gate." "Ha! Wait, why is he running again?" Xiao shrugged. "Makes sense. Even a fool can't fight instinct." Chun nodded. "You've got brain, Xiao." But then Zhao's grin froze. "Hold up, Chun, something's wrong. He's running toward us." Both turned pale. He's leading the zombies right to us," they screamed. Down below, the undead surged like a black tide, following Lin Fan straight into the residential tower. Moments later, Lin Fan reappeared on the rooftop. The crowd screamed, "What the hell are you doing?" Lin Fan crouched behind a door panel, calm as ever. "Didn't you all want the zombies here? Just lending a hand." "You're welcome." Seconds later, dozens of zombies swarmed the rooftop, their eyes locking onto fresh prey. Chen's face drained of color. "You bastard. You absolute bastard," he screamed. After the four elders moved into Lin Fan's community, everyone quickly grew close. They often shared simple meals with Lin Fan and Li Mei's mother-daughter pair, bringing life back to the quiet apartment block. One afternoon, Fei Fei noticed Lin Fan staring at her. She touched her cheek nervously, thinking something was on her face. After a long pause, Lin Fan finally asked, "Where's your school bag?" Fei Fei blinked, confused. "School bag? What school bag?" Lin Fan pointed to Grandma Yang. "Even in the apocalypse, you're still a kid. There's not much you can do right now. So study. Grandma Liang used to be a teacher. She can help you. I'll bring your books and bag later." Fei Fei pouted. "But the world's ended. Do I really have to study?" Li Mei thought for a moment and nodded. "Sweetheart, listen to your uncle. Learning is the only thing you can still do." Lin Fan stood up with a grin. "You guys eat first. I'll toss the trash and grab Fei Fei's bag." Fei Fei sighed dramatically. "Uncle, what did I ever do to deserve this?" And just like that, the once silent Sunshine Complex found warmth again, now home to 6 new survivors. That night, 2 zombies staggered toward a 2-story auto repair shop down the street. In the next second, 2 arrows pierced their skulls, dropping them instantly. The shooter was a former hobbyist archer, now a scavenger clearing the streets one corpse at a time. The zombies inside the shop, however, were too risky to handle. Too much noise could draw a horde. He wasn't alone. 1 woman and 2 men worked beside him. Their food would only last a week, but at least the tap water still ran. Someone out there must still be keeping the water plant running. Suddenly, a deafening blast echoed outside, making the archer's face go pale. Flames burst from a nearby building, instantly drawing every zombie in the area toward it. The short-haired woman rushed to the window, furious. Who the hell made that noise? Outside, a lone woman was running for her life, screaming in terror as the horde closed in. Then, bang! A massive hand came crashing down, smashing her into a pool of blood. A towering mutant zombie, nearly 4 meters tall, stood there, its body wrapped in dark mist, monstrous and powerful. The short-haired woman's lips trembled. A mutant zombie? They can evolve. Just then, the sound of a garbage bin's wheels scraping the pavement came from a nearby alley. She froze, thinking another giant zombie was coming. But instead, Lin Fan emerged, calmly pushing a garbage bin, knocking down the horde and the mutant like it was nothing. His strength stat had already reached the limit. His stamina and speed were beyond human. As he passed through the alley, he didn't even bother glancing at the fallen giant. The short-haired woman hiding on the repair shop's second floor recognized Lin Fan and whispered, "It's him. It's actually him." The other guys felt like they'd just been spared from death. Am I seeing things? Someone's pushing a trash bin. Boss, he drew the zombies away. We might be saved. The scene cut back to the supermarket beneath Li Mei's old apartment block. Lin Fan parked the bin at the complex gate and headed upstairs to grab Fei Fei's backpack and textbooks. For thugs hiding on the supermarket's second floor called down, "Hey, what are you doing?" Lin Fan glanced up and replied calmly, "You need something?" "The complex trash bin's full. I'm just finding a spot to dump it and grabbing some stuff." Before he could finish, they started mocking him. "Listen to this guy, dumping trash. What talent? Only in the apocalypse would someone specialize in trash duty." Lin Fan didn't see it as strange. Dumping trash is normal. Apocalypse or not, life goes on. If you need help, say so. The bald guy sneered. "You dumbass. We live good up here. You actually ask if we need help? Want me to shout? I'll call the horde and you can run for fun." Lin Fan didn't bother wasting time. He waved and said bye, then walked off. That curt exit stoked the thugs' cruelty. They plotted to lure the zombies over, just to watch someone get chased, confident the second floor was safe. After all, zombies don't fly. Then, the four thugs started howling like broken megaphones, their screams echoing through the street. They kept yelling for minutes, but not a single zombie showed up below. What the hell? Where are the damn zombies? No way this area is clean. They can't all be gone. Across the street, Lin Fan stood behind another building's gate and looked back. "Relax," he said calmly. "They'll be here soon." With that, he vanished from sight. The thugs muttered, annoyed. Buzzkill. Couldn't even get zombies to kill that idiot. Suddenly, the ground began to tremble, small stones bouncing violently. Heavy footsteps thundered nearby. "Oh crap, something's coming. What the hell is that sound?" Before they could finish, a massive, hideous face filled the second-floor window. In the next instant, three of the thugs were crushed and torn apart by the giant zombie. Meanwhile, Lin Fan had already reached the bookstore on the first floor of the opposite building. As he started up the stairs, he heard the faint cry of a baby. Following the sound, he reached the landing at the corner. There, a woman hung lifelessly before him. Her baby was still alive, yet she had chosen to end her own life. She had given up her child's last chance to survive. The infant's cries continued, but they were growing weak, almost fading into silence. Lin Fan gently took the baby from the dead woman's arms, his warm hands trying to calm the weak cries. Then he felt something in the baby's blanket, a small diary. It read, "No rescue, no food. I'm getting weaker. I know I won't last much longer. I've seen the dead turn into zombies. I don't want to hurt my baby. While I can still think clearly, I need to do what I must. I'm terrified of biting her. So I smash my own teeth and wrap my mouth with tape. That way, even as a zombie, I can't harm her. My baby's name is Meng Meng. If anyone finds this, please let her live. And if you can't, please don't leave her outside. I don't want her to be eaten." Lin Fan sighed softly. "Rest easy. I'll do everything I can to keep your child alive." But the moment he spoke, a basketball rolled eerily to his feet. A second later, a zombie that looked disturbingly like Garfield lunged straight at him. It was far faster than any zombie he'd encountered before. Lin Fan unsheathed Frostmourne, puzzled. How could such a monster exist here while the baby still survived? Then it hit him. This creature had been waiting, using the infant as bait to hunt anyone kind enough to help. With that thought, Lin Fan swung Frostmourne and split the evolved speed-type zombie clean in half. The system chimed, +3 attribute points gained. This one was different. It clearly had some intelligence. Every other zombie he'd met so far was basically brain dead. From the creature's remains, a red crystal burst out, glowing faintly. Lin Fan blinked, muttering to himself, "Must have been a bookworm zombie. Probably studied hard in this bookstore. Guess it's true. Knowledge is power. Anyway, since I'm here, I'll grab some workbooks and exam papers for Fei Fei. She looks like the studious type. She'll lose her mind when she sees these." Meanwhile, deep beneath a desert base far away, a professor stared wide-eyed at a sealed red crystal. "You're saying this came from inside a zombie's skull?" A female officer saluted. "Yes, sir. The specimen was unusual, so we dissected it and found this crystal inside its brain." "Tell me everything," the professor urged. "The first shot was fired by Xiang Nan," she explained. "Sniper rifle. Direct headshot. But the zombie didn't die. Instead, it sprinted toward the base fast. He kept firing. Every round hit the head. It finally dropped only after its skull was completely destroyed. Before this, every zombie we'd seen could be killed with a simple stab to the head. But this one, even high-caliber rounds couldn't finish it off. It's beyond explanation." The professor frowned deeply. "Zombies are evolving, but why like this? Strong enough that even a headshot can't kill them? They're turning into demons." At this point, only 2 bases in China are still in contact, Dragon Palace and Galaxy Base, he sighed. "But with the undead still evolving, can we really save what's left of the world?" The female officer hesitated, blushing slightly. "Sir, I have an idea. Not very scientific, but, well, I used to read zombie novels. In those stories, zombies have crystals in their brains, materials for evolution. Humans who kill zombies can absorb the crystal's energy to become stronger, even superhuman. Maybe that's what this crystal is too?" The professor looked utterly lost. He'd never read a single novel in his life. Just hearing zombie fiction made him stare with a big question mark on his face. Meanwhile, Lin Fan, carrying the rescued baby, walked calmly out of the bookstore. His casual stride down the street caught the attention of a woman watching from above. Her name was Su Xiao Xiao, a once popular cake influencer known for baking videos in frilly Lolita dresses. Suddenly, Lin Fan glanced right toward her window. Startled, Su Xiao Xiao covered her mouth and ducked under the ledge. "Crap, he looked this way. Did he see me?" Lin Fan noticed a faint shadow flicker past the glass. "A survivor?" he thought. But before he could think more, a car screeched to a stop in front of the police station nearby. After confirming there were no zombies nearby, 4 men stepped out of the car, thugs from the Huangshe underworld. Lin Fan gave them a casual wave. Even from a distance, he could smell the heavy stench of blood clinging to them. The buzz-cut man froze. "What the hell? Someone's still alive out here." The guy with the permed hair whispered, "Should we take him out?" The man with the bun shook his head. "Don't. We'll draw too much attention. Remember, we're here on the boss's orders." The chubby one nodded. "Yeah, if we don't find what the boss wants, he'll skin us alive." Meanwhile, the bald man in the car eyed Lin Fan coldly, thinking he's not even running. "Once the boys grab those guns, I'll tie him to the bumper and let the zombies tear him apart." But before he could finish the thought, Lin Fan's face appeared right outside the window, smiling eerily. Lin Fan looked him in the eyes, tone calm but sharp. "So, what exactly are you guys doing out here?" The bald man nearly screamed. "What the hell? Wasn't he across the street just a second ago?" At that moment, the 4 men who had gone inside the police station returned, carrying stolen guns. "Hey, why is that guy still here? What the hell are you 2 doing?" The bald guy muttered. "So, did you find a boss's stuff or what?" The buzz-cut man scoffed, "Of course. Why else are we here? With that haul, we'll be set." The perm guy eyed Lin Fan. "Kid's bold, walking the streets alone. How the hell are you still alive?" Lin Fan answered calmly. "When I meet zombies, I try talking them down. If that fails, I defend myself. One swing, they're gone." The perm guy blinked. "Is he for real? What the hell is he even saying?" The buzz-cut guy snapped. He pulled a pistol and aimed at Lin Fan. "Do you even know what this is worth?" Lin Fan didn't flinch. "So you 4 went into the police station to steal guns, huh?" The buzz-cut man sneered. "You're crazy. It's the apocalypse. Of course we stole. We've done things you can't even imagine." He never finished the sentence. There was a streak of light, and his arm separated from his body in an instant. Lin Fan offered a dry apology. Sorry, I'm used to cutting up zombies in self-defense. For a moment, I forgot you were human. The scene shocked everyone. The man with the bun fumbled for his gun. Before he could pull the trigger, Lin Fan split him in two with a single strike. The last two men froze in terror. He moved too fast to see. Is he even human? From the car, the bald man yelled, "You idiots! You're too damn loud. The zombies are coming. Get in now." Sure enough, guttural screams echoed through every street corner. A flood of undead surged toward the car like a pack of rabid dogs. The bald man slammed the gas pedal, speeding away without a glance back. "You're dead, kid. The boss will make sure of it." The two abandoned men shouted after him. "You son of... We're still down here. Get your ass back." Lin Fan sheathed his blade, sighing. See? Even the enthusiastic zombies can't stand injustice. They're doing their civic duty. The two men glared, too terrified to speak. Civic-minded zombies? Bro, they came because you murdered people. Lin Fan crouched, then leapt lightly onto a nearby second-floor balcony. With his current stats, parkour was practically casual. The men watched his retreating figure, dumbstruck. No athlete on Earth could ever jump that high. Moments later, the zombie horde crashed over them like a living wave. Their screams were brief, quickly drowned out by the sound of tearing flesh. The chaos outside caught the attention of Su Xiao, the cake influencer. So many zombies. Don't tell me the guy wandering around earlier brought them here. What was he thinking? It's suicide out there. He's probably dead by now. But before she could finish the thought, Lin Fan's face suddenly appeared right outside her window. She dropped to the floor, trembling. Wait, this is the second floor. How the hell is his face out there? Standing on the outdoor AC unit, Lin Fan assumed she was just traumatized by the apocalypse. She's terrified. I should give her time to adjust. I'll visit her window every day, he thought sincerely. I'll smile at her, show her kindness. She'll learn I mean no harm. Meanwhile, Su Xiao had already grabbed a fruit knife. Oh no, he saw me. What do? I can't run. He'll alert other survivors. I won't let them catch me alive. If I can't fight him, I'll stab myself first. He won't get a warm body to play with. At the same time, inside the luxurious hillside mansion in Huangshe, the bald thug burst through the door, panic written all over his face. Boss, we got trouble. A scar-faced man puffed on a cigar, frowning. Trouble? 5 of you went out, and only you came back? The bald man exaggerated his tale. Boss, when we reached the police station, there was another group hiding in the shadows. The moment we found the guns, they lured the zombies right at us. The bald man stammered. I told the guys to get in the car, but there were too many zombies. The road was blocked. I had no choice but to drive off. Inside, he was panicking. I can't let the boss know it was just one guy. I ditched them and ran the moment I saw that horde. He glanced nervously at his boss. Why isn't he saying anything? Oh crap, he's gonna hit me. This man can smash bricks barehanded. Hell, he once cracked a stone with a slap. Wang Defu finally looked up, pressing the lit cigar into the bald man's forehead. Why didn't you die out there? The bald man trembled, biting his tongue to keep from screaming. He knew, if he made a sound, the boss's temper would finish him off. When the cigar burned out, he forced a pitiful smile. Boss, I just wanted to drive for you. That's all. Wang Defu snorted. Annoyed, but not enough to kill him, he flicked away the cigar. Get lost. Leaning back, Wang Defu's eyes grew cold. He'd planned to secure the entire villa complex as his base, expanding outward step by step. But now, it seemed another team in Huangshe had the same idea, and enough guts to raid a police station for guns. Looks like I'll have to strike first, he muttered. The next morning, sunlight poured over the Yangwang community. Old Mrs. Su Guifan knelt in the garden, planting the seeds Lin Fan had brought back. Meanwhile, Mr. Zhou Aijuan and Mr. Wang Jiangwo reinforced the gates and exits with wooden planks to keep zombies out. On the other side, Grandma Yang was tutoring little Fei Fei, patiently walking her through math, physics, and chemistry, one-on-one. Fei Fei finally finished her homework, only to find a few more textbooks suddenly sitting on the table. Lin Fan smiled proudly. I knew it. You're a hardworking kid. Picked these up for you last night. But Fei Fei's eyes were already brimming with tears, ready to burst at any moment. Before she could speak, the baby in Lin Fan's arms started wailing loudly. Li Mei looked alarmed. Where did you find that child? Lin Fan hesitated. Grandma, Su used to be an army medic. Let's have her take a look first. Hearing the baby's cry, Grandma Su rushed in from the yard. Quick, bring her here. After checking, she exhaled in relief. Good thing you found her in time. A few minutes later, and she wouldn't have made it. But she's not out of danger yet. Her body's weak, the rash on her bottom's infected, and there are several small wounds. She'll need careful care. Lin Fan, what's her name? Her mother's diary only mentioned one thing. The baby's name is Meng Meng. Then let her take your surname. Lin Meng Meng, Grandma, Su suggested. But Lin Fan shook his head. No, just Meng Meng. When she grows up, I'll tell her everything about her mother. Li Mei noticed Lin Fan struggling to hold the baby and decided to help. Let me take care of her. You've got enough on your plate. Lin Fan smiled gratefully. Then let's split shifts. You handle daytime, I'll take the nights. Just as they settled the baby situation, Grandpa Zhou and Grandpa Wang suddenly shouted from the gate, panic in their voices. Lin Fan, get over here. Something's wrong. There's zombies gathering on the street. Lin Fan frowned. That's strange. I lost them long ago on my way back. Don't tell me. The zombies have started to evolve intelligence? When Lin Fan and the two elders spotted the zombies, they realized the horde was being led by a small delivery truck. The driver was honking steadily, keeping a slow, constant speed. Watching through the cameras, Grandpa Zhou guessed the driver was trying to lure the zombies away, giving other survivors a chance to scavenge supplies. Lin Fan peeked through a gap in the wall and saw it too. 3 survivors armed with steel rods and shields sprinted toward the nearby stores while the horde was distracted. But then Grandpa Zhou frowned. Wait, that truck just turned back. The scavengers froze as the same truck came into view again. Only then did they realize the driver was deliberately sending the zombies back at them. Inside the cab, the man lit a cigarette. His mind drifted back to the day the world ended. When food ran out, he had no choice but to risk going outside. Lacking experience, he was spotted by a horde almost immediately. Just when death seemed certain, a truck stopped beside him. 2 men jumped out, one with a shield, one with a steel pipe, taking down the zombies with brutal efficiency. Grateful, he begged to join them. They refused, but when he mentioned his wife and child still at home and asked for some food, they suddenly smiled, telling him to bring his family. They'd take them to safety. He truly thought he'd met good people. But when they saw his wife, their eyes changed. They tied him up and violated her right in front of him. In her final struggle, his wife broke free and fought back, only to be thrown from the 3rd floor, dying on impact. The man originally wanted to fight to the death, but they had taken his 8-year-old daughter hostage. If he resisted, she would be tortured to death. He had waited a long time for a chance to wipe these animals out. He slammed the gas pedal, swearing he would never let these beasts return alive. The truck crashed through the storefront, smashing the 3 scumbags inside as flames and smoke burst into the sky. Lin Fan saw this scene and couldn't help opening the community gate, ignoring the elder's attempt to stop him as he rushed out. Meanwhile, the man was pinned to the driver's seat by the deployed airbag, while zombies climbed onto the truck and surrounded him. Lin Fan shouted coldly at the horde. Can you stop causing trouble around Sunshine Complex? We have elders, mothers, and a baby here. Don't make a mess. The zombies turned to look at him, momentarily confused. But moments later, they got inspired again and lunged at him. Lin Fan drew Frostmourne and took down more than 10 zombies in just a few swings. The 2 old men watching the monitors broke into cold sweat. They were starting to believe Xiao Fan might actually be a super soldier. With strength like this, maybe one day the rebuilding of civilization would begin right here in Huang City, and Xiao Fan might be the spark. Afterwards, retired military doctor Su Guifan checked the man's injuries and found they were only impact wounds. Don't worry, the airbag protected him. This blood is just from his nose. Lin Fan looked at the smoke-filled street outside. It was the mess he caused, so of course he had to clean it up. The three old men stared at him, feeling something was off, yet unable to argue with him. Soon, the man woke up, coughing, and asked, "Is this heaven?" Lin Fan replied, "No. This is Sunshine Complex, our home. Since you're awake, go clean the street later. Those bodies will start to rot." The man sat up, wincing, and introduced himself as Chun Hee, a former network repair worker. "Thank you for saving me, but I have to rescue my daughter. She's still at their base." Lin Fan stared at him, thinking cause trouble and then try to run, not planning to clean the street. Huh? Then Lin Fan made a decision that shocked Chun Hee. "You clean the street. Give me the address. I'll run the errand. I'll rescue your daughter. Don't worry, I charge cheap." And just like that, Lin Fan agreed to bring back the 8-year-old girl for a 100 yuan delivery fee. However, as the two walked down the street, Su Xiaoxiao spotted them again. It was him. That man appeared once more, and he was even holding a little girl who looked only 8 or 9. Lin Fan instinctively looked up and saw the woman hiding inside the cake shop. He stopped walking and waved at Su Xiaoxiao in a friendly manner. Su Xiaoxiao broke into a cold sweat. No, that guy looked this way. And he even smiled so creepily. She immediately pulled the curtains shut and ducked under the window. That beast didn't catch me, but he grabbed a little girl, thinking about what she might suffer next. Damn this apocalypse. Why do scum like him get to run wild? Lin Fan scratched his head. The survivor inside the cake shop was acting weird, probably traumatized by the apocalypse and mentally unstable, he guessed. Forget it. Ting Ting, survivors like that with mental issues are dangerous. Stay away from them in the future. Meanwhile, an off-road vehicle passed by with a massive zombie horde chasing behind. The man in the hat suddenly pointed ahead and yelled, "Holy, what the hell?" The team leader tensed up, thinking something serious happened. But the hat-wearing man pointed to the intersection. "It's that weird survivor we met earlier. He's still wandering around like he owns the place. And now he's even carrying a little girl? This guy is way too bold." The leader's first thought was, with so many zombies behind them, if those zombies spotted him and the kid, they would certainly die. She quickly told the driver, old Mao, to honk the horn to help draw zombies away from them. But before she finished speaking, toy music suddenly played from ahead, freezing everyone in the car. Lin Fan and Ting Ting were holding a cactus toy, the kind that wiggles its body and talks and sings. Zombies hiding in nearby corners froze for a second at the sound. Then they charged toward it like they had spotted fresh meat. The people in the car were stunned. "Holy, leader, he actually beat us to it. He helped lure the zombies away." The leader's mind went blank. "We're screwed. Completely screwed." Meanwhile, back at the desert base, the researchers had finished analyzing the crystal nucleus from the zombie's brain. The substance inside was unlike anything known to modern science. The energy was extremely stable. The crystal's outer protective layer looked like a clear shell, almost like human skin, but far tougher. The professor fell into deep thought. As a surviving research base, their equipment was top tier. Yet even so, they still hadn't figured out the purpose of the crystals found in zombies' brains. He then told the researcher to contact the Dragon Palace base and Galaxy base to ask about their progress. The researcher shook his head in disappointment. Neither Dragon Palace base nor Galaxy base had ever found a crystal inside a zombie's head. Their conclusion was simple: only Tosu zombies had them. The professor could only accept this reality. Hearing this, the old professor grew even more worried. Zombies truly could evolve, and that was terrible news for surviving humans. If they couldn't find a countermeasure soon, humanity might really face extinction. Meanwhile, on the rooftop of a residential complex in Huang City, a man held a zombie crystal and shouted, "I got it!" Just like the novel said, there really is a crystal inside zombie heads. To get this thing, I tricked 7 teammates to their deaths. Absorb the crystal, get stronger. I'll kill more zombies, grow even stronger, and rule the apocalypse. At that point, what can I not get? My rise begins today. With countless fantasies flashing through his mind, he swallowed the crystal in one gulp. Let this power reshape my body. Give me superhuman strength. I'll become the king of the apocalypse. 365 days a year, different woman every day. But moments later, Jiang Hao felt absolutely no change in his body. What? How is that possible? Is the crystal useless? This isn't how it works in the novels. Suddenly, a sharp pain tore through his abdomen. He thought the crystal was finally taking effect. Clutching his stomach, he rolled on the ground, unable to hide the excitement on his face. His mind filled with dreams of becoming stronger. But soon he couldn't stand it anymore and vomited a mouthful of blood. Only then did Jiang Hao realize something was terribly wrong, terror spreading across his face. In the thick blood were chunks of flesh, pieces of internal organs that had been corroded and torn apart. Elsewhere, Lin Fan crossed several neighborhoods with the little girl and finally brought her back to reunite with her father. His clothes were still splattered with zombie blood. Old Master Wang quickly reminded Chun He, Xiao Fan's efficiency is incredible. Xiao Chun, hurry and pay him his fee. Chun He didn't understand. Why pay money in the apocalypse? But he still obediently pulled out 100 yuan as compensation. Lin Fan simply laughed. No need to thank me. You pay. I run errands. This is what I'm supposed to do. Chun He stood frozen. He originally thought they were teasing him. But Lin Fan actually accepted the money, and Old Master Wang had even prepared the 100 yuan for him in advance. He leaned toward Old Master Wang's ear and whispered, "Is Xiao Fan?" Not quite right in the head, but Old Master Wang scolded him. What could be wrong with him? Paying for things is normal behavior. Even in the apocalypse, our sunshine community does things this way. Think carefully, this is a form of order. With order, there's a future. Old Master Zhou added, honestly, at the beginning we also thought Xiao Fan's brain wasn't working well. But now it's different. This is a level of thinking. Those who understand, understand. Chun He suddenly felt his brain wasn't enough. He couldn't really understand what the two old men were talking about, but somehow it all felt mysteriously profound. Just then, the bell tower on Xiangyang Road suddenly rang with the noon chime. Grandma Su checked the time. It was exactly 12 p.m., and guessed that someone must have repaired the clock on purpose to lure zombies away, creating a window for survivors to gather supplies. Old Master Zhou Aiju nodded. Whoever did that is a good person. Shows that even in crisis, there's still hope. While the old folks talked, the zombie tide, drawn by the bell, had already surged toward the clock tower. The people who repaired the tower also saw the massive horde gathering. They got ready to move out and scavenge nearby supplies. The woman leader ordered, "Move fast. We have only 2 minutes. Grab whatever you can." But at that moment, the ground suddenly shook violently. The man with the hat shouted in panic, "Boss lady, something's wrong. Something's happening." In the middle of the zombie tide, an unusually massive zombie appeared. The giant zombie swung its arm casually, tearing open a path with brute force. The creature leaped high into the air and landed directly on the bell tower. With a ferocious roar, it smashed the ringing bell into pieces. Everyone froze at the sight. Damn it, some zombies really have evolved intelligence. The woman leader wondered, does human civilization really still have a chance to continue? Meanwhile, in Sunshine Community, the old men noticed the bell stopped before completing 12 chimes, guessing something must have happened. Old Master Wang glanced at Lin Fan. Xiao Fan, the apocalypse is dangerous everywhere, but hope still exists. And hope always needs someone to find it, someone to lead, someone to expand it just a little so others can see it or touch it. There's a saying, the greater the power, the greater the responsibility. We can't just think of ourselves. If no one takes responsibility, human society will vanish one day. One person alone is weak. No one could do everything by themselves. That's why a leader appears, to give everyone a gentle push, combining strength and belief into something bigger and stronger. Lin Fan listened blankly. I don't understand anything you just said. Old Master Wang's expression changed. He remembered Lin Fan's logic was different. He needed to say it in a way Lin Fan understood. Xiao Fan, how about this? There's a real estate agency nearby. Since you like making money, go take a part-time job. hand out flyers, and ask if any survivors want to move into our community. You'll help others and earn agency fees. Hearing part-time job and making money, Lin Fan's eyes instantly sparkled. He dashed toward the gate. Old Master Wong, I'll do it right now. Grandma Sue worried this was tricking him, but Old Master Wong disagreed. I've been in the army for years. Xiao Fan is the strongest person I've ever seen. So strong he doesn't even seem human. Maybe he really is humanity's final hope. After being guided, Lin Fan began wandering the wasteland under the banner of a rental agent, looking for potential residents. But after only a few streets, an Audi drove toward him. The man inside asked if he wanted to team up to survive the apocalypse. Lin Fan refused instantly. No need. I'm working, and I already have a place to live. Hearing that, the man stepped on the gas without hesitation and sped away. The woman in the passenger seat felt uneasy. We're really leaving him? The engine noise will attract a huge zombie group. Lumen sighed. We can only help within our limits. He rejected us himself. And from that one sentence, I think that kid might be a bit crazy. Meanwhile, a massive wave of zombies was sprinting toward Lin Fan at near 100-meter dash speed. These ordinary zombies had clearly evolved, but Lin Fan's stats were already beyond anything measurable. With a single slash, he shredded a large cluster of zombies, limbs and organs spraying through the air. Looking at the zombies he had just wiped out, Lin Fan exhaled. Finally done. These zombies were clearly harder to deal with than before. They were evolving. Thankfully, he had his little assistant system and kept getting stronger as well. After handling the zombies, Lin Fan looked up instinctively. He spotted an SOS message written on the window of a residential unit. It was from Yanni and I, a 19-year-old dance streamer with top-tier looks and 1 million followers. Since the apocalypse, she had stayed home hiding, surviving this long only because she ate very little. On the third day, she heard knocking and voices outside. She wanted to open the door, but through the peephole she saw Lu Hong's younger brother, Lu Bing. Lu Hong was her agent, and Lu Bing was a useless gambler who had always looked at her the wrong way. Now that it's the apocalypse, if Lu Bing wanted to do something to her, Lu Hong definitely wouldn't stop him, and might even help. So she never opened the door, no matter how they coaxed her. But now her food was gone. She was really about to starve to death. Meanwhile, Lu Bing was still describing her body to his sister. Those legs, that waist, that hip line, sis, just thinking about it drives me crazy. But the damn security door was too strong. Forcing it open wasn't working. Lu Hong scolded him. It's your fault. I told you not to act so obvious from the start. Lu Bing giggled. It's the apocalypse. Who still needs to hide anything? Just then, footsteps sounded outside. Lu Bing whispered, sis, don't talk. Something's moving out there. He carefully checked the situation through the peephole. Lin Fan knocked on room 1705. Hello. Is anyone inside? Yanni and I had never been this desperate. Curled in a corner, she yelled, go away. Don't bother me. She thought it was Lu Bing again. She was falling apart, even considering grabbing a kitchen knife to end herself, but she knew that bastard would violate her corpse while it was still warm. Lin Fan knocked for a long time, but no sound came from inside. A bad feeling hit him. Maybe the person inside could no longer cry for help. He couldn't wait any longer. With that thought, Lin Fan smashed the security door open with a single punch. Inside, he found a beautiful woman holding a small knife with trembling hands. Lin Fan told her not to panic, but how could she not? A stranger had just punched her door open in the apocalypse. Lin Fan recognized her. You're the dance streamer Yanni and I, right? I tipped you $100 once. Before that, I always watched for free. I never donated. But your dancing was really good. Yanni and I held the knife to her neck and yelled, don't come any closer. If you move even one step, I'll kill myself right here. I won't let you get your hands on me. She once watched an Island Nation film with her roommate in the dorm about a woman who was captured, tortured every day, played with every day, and eventually trained like a dog. She used to think movies exaggerated things, but now she believed people really could do such horrifying things. Lin Fan said he meant no harm. I'm a housing agent. I was passing by, saw the SOS message on your window, so I came to check. As for the front door, I'm really sorry. I heard nothing inside and thought something happened to you, so I had to do it. Yanni and I was completely stunned. Agent? SOS? Something happened? And more importantly, can a normal person punch through a steel security door? Lin Fan raised his hand to the sky. I really just came to check and promote some housing. Your living conditions don't look great. Have you thought about moving somewhere else? If you're interested, I recommend Sunshine Community. It's old, but under my management, it's quiet, clean, and very safe. The residents are all elites from different fields: doctors, teachers, decorated veterans, retired military factory ladies, even an internet repair guy. There's a full outdoor gym downstairs, and farmland we personally developed. And most importantly, it's affordable. After hearing all that, Yanni's terror slowly shifted into shock. Seeing her expression change, Lin Fan became certain. She was lowering her guard and slowly accepting him. He took a slow step forward. I understand you're scared. A beautiful girl like you must have had it especially hard in this disaster. But there's still kindness in the world. We should move toward the light. Come on, put the knife down. Take a look at the flyer. Maybe it'll give you some ideas. Yanni and I stared at the flyer in her hand. It felt absurd. She couldn't help asking, "What? Who are you exactly?" Lin Fan smiled. "Didn't I say? My name's Lin Fan, a housing agent from Xinfeng Agency. I specialize in renting places. If you're not satisfied with your current home, you can come to Sunshine Community. Why don't we sit down and I'll introduce it properly." Lin Fan kept promoting, "Look at this layout, building 1, room 504, 2 bedrooms, 1 living room, 60 square meters. Rent is about $1,500 a month. Elevator, easy access. But since you're a girl and a streamer, you must have tons of clothes. So I recommend building 2, unit 2. Room it's bigger, definitely more suitable for you." The previous tenant was also a girl. Her lease ended just a few days ago. Yanni and I couldn't help asking, "Are you mentally ill or something?" Lin Fan instantly looked annoyed. "I'm kindly recommending places, and you insult me? If you don't want to rent, just say it. I'll leave." Seeing him get up to leave, Yanni and I quickly grabbed him and apologized. "Wait, sorry. I didn't mean it. I apologize." Lin Fan sighed. "You need a good mindset to make money." "Fine, I accept your apology." But Yanni and I still asked, "Are you always like this? I mean, this kind of not so normal?" Seeing his dark expression, she hurried to explain, "No, I don't mean it like that. I just..." Before she could finish, Lin Fan cut her off. "Not normal? Isn't that you people? Everyone thinks the apocalypse means no rules. But exactly that mindset is what makes the world worse. In the apocalypse, the scariest thing isn't zombies, it's people. I'm just living by the old rules like before, because I have the strength to do so." Yanni and I looked at him again. He was weird, but what he said made sense. Was he pretending to be silly to make others drop their guard? Whatever. This place is destroyed. Staying means death. I have to leave. Lin Fan smiled. "So, do you want to rent a place?" Yanni and I nodded quickly. "Yes, I'll rent the one you said." Lin Fan continued. "Then pack your things." Yanni and I stared at him. Lin Fan explained, "You're moving, right? You need to bring your stuff. Important things, bank cards, and cash if you have any. That apartment is $1,800 a month." Yanni and I was stunned. "Bro, I just want to get out of here. What good is money now?" I really can't tell if he's pretending or genuinely like this. 10 minutes later, Lin Fan looked at her, confused. "You're done packing?" "That's all." Yin Nini nodded and reminded Lin Fan that there were survivors downstairs, and they were dangerous. She feared they might not be able to leave. Lin Fan calmly led her down the stairs. "Don't worry, I'm very capable." Yanini thought about it. Well, he did punch through a reinforced door, but as they reached the next floor, Lu Bing's door suddenly swung open. He held a kitchen knife in his hand. "Yanini, where do you think you're going?" "Kid, you'd better send that woman out right now and get the hell out, or I'll make you regret it." But Lin Fan didn't retreat at all. Instead, a small smile tugged at the corner of his mouth. "Sorry, I usually don't smile, unless I just can't help it. Pardon the question, but how exactly do you plan to make me regret it?" The next second, Lin Fan moved with unbelievable speed and instantly snatched the knife from his hand. Liu Bing was completely stunned, feeling like everything in front of him was unreal. He only took out the knife to scare the guy into leaving the woman behind. Who would have thought the knife would be taken from him in the blink of an eye? That wasn't normal at all. But instead of attacking him, Lin Fan said the knife was dangerous, and even threatening someone without causing harm still counted as breaking public security laws. This righteous, serious tone made Liu Bing even more confused. He even instinctively took back the knife Lin Fan handed to him. Lin Fan reminded him, "Hold it properly, and don't do stupid things again. Also, if you really attack me, I will defend myself, and that will get messy for you." Liu Bing stared at the knife, utterly dazed. What the hell was going on? He couldn't make sense of it all. Yan Nini originally wanted to stop Lin Fan from giving the knife back, but it was too late. She thought about how, ever since she became an influencer, she had treated Liu Hong like a sister, giving her money, opportunities, everything. Yet in the apocalypse, she became a stranger, even helping her brother try to ruin her. Lin Fan turned and told her to follow him. "Let's go." But Liu Bing stared at Yan Nini with greedy eyes and shouted for them to stop. Lin Fan glanced at him from the corner of his eye and asked coldly, "Something else?" Liu Bing took a few steps forward with the kitchen knife, thinking he had wanted this girl for a long time and could never let her leave like this. He gathered his courage and said to Lin Fan, "You're taking her because you want her body, right?" Lin Fan felt his character being insulted. "Watch your mouth." Liu Bing stared at Yan Nini with a greasy, perverted look. "You better think carefully. If you stay here, it's just me. But if you leave with him, who knows how many men you'll run into? Maybe a few, maybe dozens. Fat ones, short ones, ugly ones, taking turns until you'd rather die. Can you imagine that? This is the apocalypse. No law, no morals, nobody cares about you. Staying here is your best option because you only have to deal with me." Those filthy words kept hammering into Yan Nini's mind. Liu Bing stopped dreaming. "I'd rather die than stay." After being rejected, Liu Bing's eyes twisted with madness. He blamed everything on Lin Fan. Otherwise, Yan Nini would never dare talk back. The knife being taken must have been because he got careless. No normal person could move that fast. With this self-hypnosis, his expression grew more deranged. Then he swung the shining kitchen knife down at Lin Fan with full force. Yan Nini's face went pale. She screamed for Lin Fan to watch out. As for Liu Hong, she assumed Yan Nini was already terrified out of her mind. Later, she only needed to help her brother restrain the man. But unexpectedly, Liu Bing suddenly blacked out and flew backwards, as if something had slammed hard into him. He crashed into the wall, the surface cracking like a spiderweb. Lin Fan slowly withdrew his right leg and explained calmly, "It was his own fault. I just defended myself." Yan Nini stared in shock. This guy was insanely strong. In the blink of an eye, Liu Bing was done. Liu Hong didn't dare cause more trouble and rushed to check whether her brother still had breath. They went down several more floors, and Yan Nini noticed broken zombie corpses everywhere. You killed all these?" Lin Fan said that when he arrived, the zombies were wandering around and attacked him. So he had no choice but to defend himself. Yan Nini wanted to figure out what his profession really was. Lin Fan sighed helplessly. "Didn't I already tell you? I'm a real estate agent from Xinfeng Agency." Of course, Yan Nini didn't believe him. Everything felt like a cliché, short drama script. Ordinary job on the surface, hidden powerhouse underneath. Once they reached the street, Yan Nini kept asking, "You always walk around outside like this?" Lin Fan said, "Yeah. In the apocalypse, everything is inconvenient. I need to earn money to live. Don't be fooled by the realtor thing. I'm also a security guard. I help keep the neighborhood in order, and old man Wang even pays me for it." Yan Nini got another key piece of info. "You're a security guard, so do you also deliver food or something?" Lin Fan shook his head. "No, but sometimes I run errands for survivors and earn a little extra." Yan Nini was thrilled with what she learned. It matches. Real estate agent, security guard, errand runner. The perfect Dragon King panel disguised as ordinary jobs. I totally grab a big thigh. I'm so lucky. Thinking of this, She couldn't help laughing out loud. But Lin Fan gave her a strange look. What a pity. Such a good girl, yet somehow a total idiot. It was Lin Fan's first time bringing a beautiful influencer home. Naturally, Grandpa Wong misunderstood, thinking Lin Fan brought a woman back for communication. He even kindly reminded him that he should communicate more while he's young. Don't wait until you're old. Otherwise, the scene would turn into, "Young lady, let's get along." "Grandpa, I'm still fine, but you're almost scrapped." "Not appropriate. But I have a pension card." Lin Fan snapped out of the imagination with a shiver. "Grandpa, what kind of nonsense are you talking about?" Just then, Li Mei came over with dishes and called everyone to eat. Lin Fan introduced her to Yan Nini. "This is Sister Li Mei, amazing cook. And this is her daughter, Fei Fei." Fei Fei took one look at Yan Nini and said, "Uncle Lin will definitely like you." Yan Nini didn't explain. She simply patted Fei Fei's head and praised her for being adorable. Then Lin Fan introduced Chun He and his daughter Ting Ting. Brother Chun is a top-tier network repair specialist. The four elders were Wang Zhonghua, Zhou Aijuan, and the two grandmas Liang Yin and Su Guifan. They're all incredibly formidable seniors. Once the introductions were done, Lin Fan took Yan Nini to the table. Yan Nini hadn't eaten such delicious homemade food in a long time. "Sister Li, your cooking is amazing." Li Mei laughed. "If you like it, eat more." Food is hard to come by these days, but compared to most people, this is already a luxury. Yan Nini couldn't believe such warmth and comfort still existed in the apocalypse. She felt she had really bet right. Maybe fate was looking out for her by letting her meet Lin Fan. Then Wang Zhonghua asked, "Girl, how did you solve water supply where you lived?" "Don't get me wrong, I'm an old soldier, a retired officer. In harsh environments, water is everything. I'm just curious." Yan Nini answered truthfully, "Grandpa, the tap water is drinkable. I was scared too, thinking zombies might contaminate the water plant. But I was too thirsty one day, drank it, and nothing happened." Chun He was shocked and delighted. "We never dared use tap water, always relying on Lin brother to bring purified water. If the water plant is clean and contamination doesn't infect humans, that's incredibly good news for all survivors." But Elder Wang was thinking beyond just that. "As far as I know, the water plant draws water from the river. It must go through multiple treatment steps. Otherwise, the water delivered to every household would be muddy. But the tap water now is completely clear. I suspect there's still a survivor at the water plant who has continued handling the treatment process, which is why the water remains clean." Zhou Aijuan nodded. "If someone is really keeping the clean water flowing, that person shouldn't be left there to die. If their food runs out one day, they'll be gone." Lin Fan kept eating happily. "I'll go take a look later. I know where the water plant is." As a newcomer, Yan Nini still didn't understand the situation. "But won't it be dangerous for you?" Lin Fan continued eating as he replied, "There's no such thing as danger. Even if there is, I still need to check. I don't understand the operation of that facility, but water is too important for all of us. If that survivor maintains the supply in such a dangerous time, he shouldn't stay in danger forever. At least let him have a proper bowl of hot rice." After finishing his meal, Lin Fan stood up. "All right, I'm heading to the water plant. If you need anything brought back, just tell me. Same rules as always. The errand fee is 100 yuan." Hearing this, everyone quickly stood up and surrounded him, each asking him to bring back some supplies. Yan Nini looked at Elder Wang in confusion. "Elder, is Lin Fan some kind of super soldier?" Elder Wang did not respond, thinking to himself, "This is something you must figure out on your own." The scene shifts to the water plant in Huang City. Inside the control room sat a bald man, sighing repeatedly. He was the plant's administrator, named Wang Kai. His mental state had reached its limit. Eating, drinking, and relieving himself all had to be done inside this room, and the environment had become extremely foul. "Buddy, I think I'm about to reach my limit. My mental state is getting worse. Look at that closed door. I keep feeling like it's glowing, as if opening it would reveal the light outside. I'm just an ordinary person. I can't hold on anymore. I really want to crawl out through the raw water pipeline, leave this place, get away from the city." There definitely won't be zombies out there. But if I leave, what about the survivors in the city? Wouldn't they lose their only source of water? Do you think I should keep holding on? The little dog barked twice, giving him a firm answer. Wang Kai tied a cell phone onto the farm dog's body. He needed it to lure all the nearby zombies away, because he had to regularly inspect the plant equipment. If the water facility stopped running, the city's water supply would end, and the survivors would fall into despair. Even the dog was trying so hard to help humans. As a human, he couldn't give up so easily. Meanwhile, the dog was darting through the narrow passages of the water plant. At first, it moved with ease, quick and nimble. But one of the zombies suddenly gained a massive speed boost. Each step it took whipped up gusts of wind. In the blink of an eye, it had forced the dog into a dead-end corner. Just at that critical moment, Lin Fan happened to pedal by on a bicycle and spotted a particularly strange-looking zombie. But whether it was a person or a zombie, he instinctively greeted it out of habit. The zombie saw Lin Fan and immediately changed targets, completely ignoring the dog that wasn't even enough to fill its teeth. It lunged toward Lin Fan at full speed, and Lin Fan prepared to draw his sword. In the next instant, a flash of sword light erupted. Powerful blade wind swept out, slicing the zombie's upper body, head, lower body, and groin clean apart. Even the crystal inside its body was shattered by the strike. Lin Fan flicked Frostmourne, shaking off the black slime. I told you, attacking me randomly is dangerous, okay? The rescued dog trotted to Lin Fan, knelt down, and wagged its tail adorably. Lin Fan patted its head. Such a cute little guy. Can you take me to the survivor here? The dog seemed to understand and happily led the way. Any wandering zombies along the route were naturally cleared by Lin Fan. The more Lin Fan looked at the dog, the more he liked it. What a smart little guy. Soon, the dog brought him back to the hiding spot shared with its owner. But the place was empty. Its owner had clearly run into danger and hadn't returned. Seeing the dog's anxiety, Lin Fan patted its head again and told it to lead the way. Meanwhile, inside the filtration room of the water plant, Wang Kai sat in the corner, dejected. Damn it, what a disaster. I didn't even finish checking the equipment before the zombies found me. I wonder how my buddy is doing now. There are still zombies outside. If I go out now, it'll be dangerous. But if I don't return to my room, the dog will have no one to open the door when it comes back. It'll definitely die out there. Just when he was sinking into despair, the dog's barking suddenly came from outside. Wang Kai opened his mouth, breathing turning rapid. He thought his hallucinations had gotten this bad. Then he heard a human voice. He couldn't believe there could really be someone outside, and told himself he absolutely must not open the door. But Lin Fan called out several times and received no response. So he simply broke open the iron door. Hello, my name is Lin Fan. I'm the security guard, rental agent, and runner from Sunshine Community. I'm a good person. I'm not here with bad intentions. I'm only looking for survivors. Seeing a human, Wang Kai couldn't hold back his tears, but he still believed it was all hallucination. How could anyone come here? And even if someone did, how could it be a security guard? Definitely hallucination. He thought the zombies had broken in while he was still trapped in an illusion. But Lin Fan patted his shoulder, solid and real. Don't be afraid. I'm here to get you. You're safe now. Those few simple words hit Wang Kai's heart harder than anything. He collapsed into Lin Fan's arms, crying uncontrollably. Finally someone came to save me. I thought I had been forgotten by everyone. Lin Fan smiled. Those who carry firewood for the many must not be left to freeze. You're the hero of this city. Sorry I came late. After rescuing Wang Kai from the water plant, Lin Fan brought him back to Sunshine Community and served him a steaming bowl of white rice. Little Ting Ting was startled by his wolf-like eating. Sister Fei Fei, has this uncle never eaten before? Fei Fei replied, Ting Ting, I think this uncle must be the reincarnation of white rice. That's why he loves it so much. Lin Fan felt confused hearing Ting Ting call Fei Fei's sister. Fei Fei, Ting Ting is older than you. Why are you calling her sis? Fei Fei proudly answered, because during this time, she's been completely under my control. Calling me sis is the least she can do. Meanwhile, the dog squatting beside Wang Kai looked utterly puzzled. Why does my human look so hungry? Didn't we happily eat dog food together this morning? It didn't take long for Wong Kai to finish the whole bowl. Sorry, I was really starving. I ate a bit too much. Li Mei shook her head with a smile. It's fine. Eating well is a blessing. You just came suddenly. I didn't have time to cook anything else. Don't mind it. Grandpa Wong patted Wong Kai on the shoulder. Young man, you did well. All this time at the water plant. Our clean water was thanks to you. Wong Kai felt it wasn't worth mentioning. You're exaggerating, sir. I'm just a water plant employee. Being stuck there, I had nothing else to do, so I did what I could. Grandpa Wong laughed. Some basic job you claim it is. What you call your duty has kept every survivor in Huang City alive. In the apocalypse, water is life. Without it, few people would survive. At this moment, Lin Fan walked up to Wong Kai and asked, Do you want to move into Sunshine Community? I'm a part-time rental agent with Xinfeng Agency. If you want to move there, I can help you find a place. The words find a place caught Wong Kai off guard, as if they carried some deeper meaning. Grandpa Wong quickly translated, What little Fan means is, if you want to live here, he can arrange a place for you. The rent isn't expensive, about $1,600 or $1,700 a month. Even though it's the apocalypse, our community still follows the original rules. Wong Kai widened his eyes and nodded, as if he understood, but also as if he didn't. Li Mei stepped in to explain, You'll get used to it. Grandpa Wong probably understands Lin Fan better than the rest of us. He's just afraid Lin Fan might say things too bluntly and confuse you. Grandpa Wong continued, Young man, you look ordinary enough, just like any other kid. You could be timid when you're timid, but when something happens, you still stand up. I like that. Wong Kai silently thought, is that supposed to be praise? As he spoke, Grandpa Wong suddenly recalled an old comrade. Back when I was in the war, there was a guy who always looked timid, even spoke in a soft, girly tone. But when it mattered, he actually carried explosives and rushed a tank. I never expected that from him. Grandpa Wong later understood. Humans are made of fear, courage, and all kinds of imperfect traits. Only with all of that together is a person complete. And at critical moments, the courage they unleash is unimaginable. Only now did Wong Kai understand. So this grandpa was basically the community's life mentor. Lin Fan leaned over and said, I have a place for you. Room 504, 5th floor. Rent is one pretty good deal. Wong Kai instinctively asked, Do I pay cash or card? Lin Fan's eyes sparkled. Cash or card? Either works. Wong Kai fell silent again. His benefactor seemed not quite normal, yet he still felt willing to cooperate. It was just a pity he had no money in this apocalypse. Seeing his hesitation, Grandpa Wong immediately rescued him. Young people who don't find a wife always spend recklessly. Little Fan, charge his rent to my card. He can pay me back when he gets his salary. The water plant still pays him, right? Wong Kai had no idea what Grandpa Wong was talking about. Salary? In an apocalypse? Who still gets salary? Then he remembered. After Lin Fan visited the water plant, a portion of the zombies nearby had been wiped out. Brother Fan, do you have some method to deal with zombies? Lin Fan didn't hide anything. Yeah, I'm strong. They all know. By now, Lin Fan's 3 attributes had already reached superhuman levels. Wong Kai had originally thought Lin Fan was using some kind of secret high-tech weapon. It wasn't until Grandpa Wong and several ladies all nodded frantically in confirmation that Wong Kai finally realized what was going on. He then asked, Brother Fan, the water plant needs someone to check it every day, otherwise issues will show up, like the water turning cloudy or full of sludge. I definitely can't handle that alone. So, if you're confident fighting zombies, could you go with me to the plant every noon? Lin Fan thought it was something difficult, but replied, No problem. If there's nothing else, I'll head back to my room. You all keep chatting. Then he stretched lazily and walked away. Wong Kai quietly asked Grandpa Wong, May I ask, what kind of person Brother Fan actually is? He feels like Superman. Grandpa Wong smiled. In every dangerous era, heroes appear. He's a hero, and so are you. As for who he really is, that's not important. Heroes aren't judged by where they come from. What matters is that Sunshine Community is our shelter and the beginning of our hope. Let's all work hard, make this community better, and spread that hope. This isn't only our wish, it's little fans' wish too. The scene shifts to the desert base. Several researchers were organizing data sent from Dragon Palace Base and Galaxy Base. They had hunted a mutated zombie and extracted many crystals from its head, but none appeared to have any function. A soldier volunteered to swallow a crystal for research, but the results were terrible. The female researcher opened the recorded footage. Here is the internal reaction of swallowing a crystal. Once the crystal merges with human tissue, the subject's body changes. The blood boils violently. 3 minutes later, the subject dies from massive blood loss. This proves the idea of gaining power by swallowing crystals is wrong. With the current human physique, we simply cannot withstand the crystal's effects. I've integrated the zombie data from Dragon Palace Base and Galaxy Base. Professors, please look at the screen. This zombie is classified as a strength-type zombie with extremely high explosive force. According to Galaxy Base tests, a strength-type zombie can easily flip a 2-ton car. Its muscle density is extremely high. Ordinary bullets only damage surface tissue and can inflict meaningful harm. This one is a speed-type zombie, skilled in fast climbing. Its limbs are thick and flexible, capable of reaching speeds of 150 kilometers per hour, faster than a cheetah. Worse still, its maximum speed doesn't decrease due to physical strain, meaning once it targets a human, survival is basically zero. This is a screamer-type zombie, capable of emitting a 120 decibel shriek, causing pain, dizziness, nausea, and more. It also has a wider attraction range than expected. When discovered several days ago, it could only produce 100 decibels, but it increased by 20 decibels in just a few days. At this rate, reaching 160 decibels is not far off. And at 160 decibels, it can rupture human eardrums. This type is even more dangerous than the previous two. An elderly professor exclaimed in horror, with things developing like this, and without any solution to these zombies, do humans really still have hope? How long can the remaining survivors even last? He had served 9 years in the military as a third-class sergeant, but just a few days after returning home on leave, he encountered the so-called zombie apocalypse. Their current team had 4 women and 2 men, and one of the couples was pregnant and about to give birth. The man asked Gu Hang about the outside situation. Gu Hang lowered his head and said that a large number of zombies were wandering outside, and things did not look good. "How's my sister-in-law now? Is her stomach still hurting?" The man replied, "Much better, but it feels like she'll give birth in the next few days. I'm scared." Gu Hang immediately patted his shoulder to comfort him, saying, "Don't worry. I'm here." In truth, there was nothing else he could say. In the apocalypse, going to a hospital was impossible, but giving birth here was even more dangerous. If she screamed, zombies would definitely be attracted. Worried that the woman might experience heavy bleeding during childbirth, Gu Hang wanted to go out to search for supplies. The man said, "Brother Gu, I'll go with you." But Gu Hang quickly refused. "No need. Stay here and take care of them. My physical ability is better than yours. If something happens, I can climb and escape." The man was afraid he would drag him down and said, "Okay, Brother Gu, then be extra careful." Gu Hang nodded. "I will. If I run into zombies, I'll run immediately." But the man wasn't talking about zombies. "Brother Gu, haven't you heard? Among the survivors in this area, everyone is talking about that legend. The man who walks the apocalypse with a single sword. It was said that among the zombie-filled streets, there was always a lone figure wandering with a sword. People claimed he was Huang City's everlasting ivy, the immortal ghost of the apocalypse. Gu Hang felt it was absurd. What kind of random words were these? How did they even get strung together? Meanwhile, inside Sunshine Community, old Wang saw Lin Fan passing by and asked why he was so busy today. Lin Fan replied, "I need to patrol the community, clear out the shops, accompany Wang Kai to the water plant, and continue my part-time real estate work in the afternoon." Old Wang nodded approvingly. In the whole community, or even the entire apocalypse, only Xiao Fan was this busy. He must be humanity's final hope. At the same time, Granny Liang was patiently teaching 2 children. Li Mei, carrying a baby on her back, went to the fields to help Granny Sue farm. Elsewhere, Yin Nini happened to run into Lin Fan and greeted him Brother Fan. Lin Fan replied, Miss Yin. Yin Nini told him not to be so formal. You can call me Xiao Yin or Nini. My friends all call me that. But Lin Fan still replied seriously, all right, Miss Yin. Yin Nini said, Brother Fan, Grandpa Wang keeps telling us the city will return to its former liveliness. Do you think that's true? Lin Fan asked back, do you think it's true? Yin Nini stared at him. If I hadn't met you all, I wouldn't believe it. But now I do. Lin Fan answered calmly. You already know the answer, and you already have faith. As long as you follow that faith, you will succeed. But Yin Nini still didn't understand. Brother Fan, why do you keep working and making money in the apocalypse? Outside, many people just hurt each other and take whatever they see. Lin Fan took 2 steps forward. I'm afraid that when the light finally returns, I won't be able to change back. Yin Nini was shocked. Was Brother Fan really thinking about the future? She suddenly believed old Wang. Maybe Brother Fan really was humanity's hope. She then hurried to catch up with him and asked with a smile, Brother Fan, do you have a girlfriend? Lin Fan replied quickly, no. Blushing, she continued, I don't have a boyfriend either. Haven't you thought about dating? Lin Fan answered just as directly, no need. Those 3 words crushed the perfectly beautiful Yin Nini. Was I rejected? Unwilling to accept it, she chased after him and asked why. Lin Fan said, because I'm still young. All right, I won't talk anymore. I need to clear zombies nearby. As long as I keep working, I'll be able to clean up all the shops around here, then expand my business to nearby areas. Huang City will definitely become clean. Yin Nini thought for a moment and decided she couldn't have been rejected. I understand. Brother Fan wasn't rejecting me. He was telling me the apocalypse is not settled. So how can one talk about home? Too small, too small. My vision was too small. So Brother Fan's heart carries such a grand ambition. In the afternoon, Lin Fan walked along the streets as usual. The cake influencer Su Xiao saw him again. Who on earth is he? Why isn't he afraid of zombies? Could there be some rule he uses to avoid them? Lin Fan also noticed the woman observing him. He wasn't sure if she had recovered. Mental wounds are hard to heal with medicine. People often have to adjust themselves. Forget it. I should clean out the zombies in the nearby shops first. When she saw Lin Fan draw his sword, she panicked. It's over, it's over. Is he finally unable to suppress his desires and planning to attack me? But after drawing his sword, Lin Fan suddenly remembered something. Right, I almost forgot. I promise to give you a smile every day. I hope my smile can warm your heart and help you recover. But to Su Xiao, that smile looked perverted and creepy. There it is again. He's staring right at me, that twisted smile. He really does have bad intentions.